Well, good morning and welcome we are so excited. I'm so excited. Welcome to the UK launch party for a certain book that hopefully you are excited about. I can tell you I'm excited about it. It is 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, so I've got coffee. I want to encourage you to grab a cup of tea or something more exciting than that if that feels right to you and sit with me for an hour. I'm in my living room. I decided to do this event from home today for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's nice to be home with you. It's all decorated for Christmas, and I thought how beautiful just to sort of come downstairs this morning and sit in my living room with you and talk about my favorite thing. My favorite things, actually. We're going to talk about a couple of things. If you're in the UK, I believe it's 4:30 your time. Again, I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to say, first and foremost, thank you to the Hay House UK team. All of you there, Portia and Catherine and Joe and Tom in particular, I just am in a debt of gratitude to you for believing in this book and helping us bring it to the finish line. The UK edition has some slight differences from the US edition. And you'll see a little bit more of a shimmer on the title and just a few things. But the content is exactly the same. And you can find it in the United Kingdom wherever you love to buy books. So a lot of you are shopping Waterstones, I know, for Crystalpedia. It is there. And what an honor to have it at Waterstones. So anyway, you're in my home. I have the doors open. So if you can hear little birds in the background, but it is morning time here in Los Angeles, California. Wherever you are, I want to just thank you for spending the time. The Hay House team has been, I have to tell you, an incredible team to work with. Fun, super talented, really excited about the project in general. They are crystal lovers too, so it's authentic. You know, they're into what we do. They like it, which matters. What's in the mug right now is coffee with a little caramel creamer. And I did put a little whipped cream on it this morning. And a little nutmeg, which is kind of my favorite way of making myself a fake latte at home. It doesn't taste the same as something, you know, we get at our favorite coffee shops, but it does the trick for this morning. So cheers. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Yeah, so first things first. I thought you might enjoy, before we start talking about the book, today is the new moon in Sagittarius. Did you know that? I'm dressed in black because it's a new moon. Also, black is my favorite color to wear in clothing. Yeah, check in wherever you are. I love seeing Dahlia Rose from Sweden. We're kind of hoping that some of you in Europe might be able to join us. Normally, by the time we're online at Sage Goddess, you guys are asleep, and rightfully so. It's very late. So I'm really hoping if you're in the UK, certainly if you're in Europe, you might have a chance to join us. And hello to everybody who's here. Thank you for being with us. Okay, so I'm going to light some white sage because at the new moon and the full moon, these are the major moon phases that we honor and celebrate at Sage Goddess. It's not that all the moon phases aren't special, but at the new moon we set intentions, and today is 12/12. In fact, in the UK, it's the end of 12/12, right? So you're coming to the end of your day. Before you go to sleep tonight, it's really important that you set an intention. So 12, the number 12 in numerology is the end of cycles. And there's 12 months in the year. There's 12 astrological signs, right? It's a very sacred, significant number. And so stepping into a 12/12 portal is not less powerful than an 11/11 portal, in fact. And so I want you to really think about today as having a great amount of significance. So I just wanted to give you a little clearing as we step into the portal together. I will be live very late UK time, 5 p.m. Pacific time tonight. So, and sometimes we have our UK family join us, but it's 8 plus 5. It's way late. So if you can't join us, that would be wonderful. So what today is all about is me walking you through this incredible book. It is available wherever you like to buy books, anywhere in the world, which is really cool. So we have been blessed and distributed, like I said, in the United Kingdom by Hay House. And so wherever you like to buy books in the UK, we hope that you'll go there and shop for Crystalpedia. I'm going to talk to you about my intention for the book. I'm going to read to you a little bit. I'm going to talk to you about some of the stones in the book that are particularly good for the new moon and intention setting. Since today's the new moon, when I was talking to Catherine and Portia and the UK Hay House team, I was like, wouldn't it kind of be cool to talk about the new moon and stones for the new moon? Because I always work with stones at the new moon: labradorite, larvikite, arvedzonite. These are stones of new beginnings, new visions. I love a black moonstone at the new moon, right? And then you want to work with stones, and we'll talk about those as well, kind of aligned to your intentions. And I'm going to do some live readings from the book, because one of my favorite ways to work with Crystalpedia is actually as an oracle. And I'll teach you how to do that today. So welcome in. Take a breath. Roll your shoulders back. If it's morning time, like it is where I am, we're just getting our day started. If it's evening time, I think this is a really cool way to conclude your day. And we love at Sage Goddess, we've been with you for 12 years. We love that we have a global audience because we feel like we're together near or far. We look at the same moon, you know what I mean? We work with the same stones. So no matter how far apart we are globally, I think what unites us is our faith, you know, in something greater than us, whatever you choose to call that, and our appreciation for the fact that that source creator brought these beautiful minerals to our planet. And I believe, you know, people ask me all the time, do you think we're meant to mine crystals? Do you think we're meant to work with crystals? Were we supposed to leave them in the earth? And my consistent answer is, I do think we're meant to find them and mine them and work with them. I think they're like gifts to us. Do you ever think about that? They grow naturally in every color. So this cover, and by the way, our incredible photographers at Sage Goddess, Lexi and Sam, did the photography for this book, and it is absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful. So if you're enjoying the buffet of beauty that this is, I want to really give them a shout out today. And hi there in Honolulu. It's early in Hawaii this morning. My goodness sake. If it's early for me, it's early for you. It's 6:40 local time in the 8:08 this morning. So thank you for joining. Ohio's there. So, okay. We can talk clothing at the end if there's time. I make these shawls. This is actually a Sage Goddess shawl. But let's talk crystals first. So I want to let you know that if you love the book and you would like it to be signed, you can find little signed book plates, little stickers, not little, they're big, and order that from sagegoddess.com, and then you can place that inside your book. I'm actually signing some this morning when we're done together, because some people have asked, how do I get a signed copy? And that's a great way to get a signed copy. We do have signed copies on our website, but they're sold out right now, I believe. But you can always find the book plates. So wherever you love to buy your book locally in the UK, you can go grab one and then get a beautiful signed sticker from sagegoddess.com that matches the book. And we would love to have you there. Yeah, and if you're into this, if you're like, wait a minute, I want more, we have a free new moon event tonight. So like I said, I would love to have you join us. So I'm going to begin by telling you about this project. So the name Crystalpedia came to me in a dream, as most of the things that I've thought about with Sage Goddess have over the years. And I'm Greek by origin, by lineage, other things too, but Greek. And Crystalpedia is actually, those two words are Greek. Crystallos means ice, and paideia means sort of a wealth of knowledge or a cross-section of knowledge. And so, you know, you've heard of encyclopedias before, which give you a wealth of knowledge on a breadth of topics, breadth and depth. And I thought, wouldn't it really be cool to have a crystal encyclopedia? And Crystalpedia felt like a really great name for a crystal book of this kind. The concept actually came to life right after my mom passed away in 2021. And I was really knee deep in grief. Have any of you ever experienced grief before? It's not my favorite emotion. So I was really knee deep in grief, and that's when my literary agent, Jonathan Merritt, and I kind of conspired to talk more about this book. And then ultimately Hay House came and said, hey, we would love to bring this book to the United Kingdom. And so it was an instant fit. The team and I just gelled. and had such great chemistry, which you need. You know, it's one thing but the birthing of a book is literally not unlike the birthing of a child. It actually takes longer and sometimes hurts more. So you have to have a really great team behind you. And so I really think this book was a gift from my mom in so many ways. So if you look at the dedication page, I dedicate it to my mom, and I write about her. My mom actually taught me to read before I went to school. When I was 2 to 3 years old, she made what she called word worms. Or you guys are here because you like books, right? I mean, if you were to look right behind this computer, you would look at the wall and go, oh my God. And then you would go down the hall where I have about 2,000 other books and go, oh my God. It is a problem. I don't like ebooks, Kindle books. I like a book because I like to dog ear my pages, and I like to make notes in my books, and I like to stick, like little Post-its and jot down notes as I go. And by the time I'm done with a book, it looks like someone ate it. So I don't know if you're that way with books. I get into an intimate relationship with my books, and I hope you do too. I always say break the spine. If I see you with your book and you haven't broken the spine, it means you haven't dug in. And so anyway, she really taught me. She was my first teacher, taught me to read and write. And so I dedicate the book first and foremost to her. I think she brought the book project to me to give me something to think about other than the loss of her. I also dedicate it to my family and to Team SG, who has been such an incredible source of support through this process and project too. So you can read the dedication page there if you're interested in all the people in my life that deserve a lot of credit. And then you get right into what I call the meat on the bone, which is your table of contents. This is your entire glossary. Usually the glossary is in the back, but we have your table of contents instead. Of all of the stones that are here in alphabetical order, we thought it was best to do it in alpha order so that if you're looking for an A-type stone, it's probably close to the beginning, and if you're looking for a Z-type stone, it's probably close to the end. That way you're not hunting and hunting. And so we hope that makes the organization and structure really easy for you. It starts with actinolite on page 24, and it ends with zoisite on page 363. Can I tell you one of the great ironies of the book? And it's no one's fault, but we're all laughing at it. My favorite stone on the planet isn't in the book. It was in the original version, but through the editing process somehow it's not there now. So if you're looking for sapphire, you're not going to find it. So we've made little funny comments about how maybe I need to make you a little like sapphire bonus page that you can slip into your book in the S section. But every other one of my favorite stones is in the book. It's just sapphire got left out. And I told Sapphire not to get its feelings hurt. I love that you guys love books as much as I do. Okay, now, when you turn to page 8, you're going to start with the introduction. I want to tell you, some books I pass through the introduction. I really want you to read the sections called the front matter and the back matter of this book. Okay, that's what they call the introduction and kind of the intro sections before you get into the meat. And the back matter, which is everything that comes at the end of the book. There's really important information in both of those sections. If you want my guidance about how to read the book, start with the front and back, and then go into the stones. And I'm going to teach you how to use it as an oracle, where you basically ask your question of the day and close your eyes. Like, what's the best stone for me personally, Athena, to work with for the new moon? And then you can see what your stones of the day are. Mine are lepidolite, so obviously that's for stress management, anxiety relief, and then Libyan gold tektite, which takes me back to my Egyptian roots and comes from the sub-Saharan desert just outside of Egypt, was really prized and treasured by King Tutankhamun. So, yeah. It was kind of a joke. I don't think stones get their feelings hurt, but sapphire got left out at the party. We'll make it up to sapphire next time. So the introduction talks about my my journey with crystals. I experienced my first crystal at the age of 8. My parents had taken our family on, I'm reading to you for a minute, on a road trip up the coast of California. We stumbled on a tourist shop. They have those here. I'm not sure if you have those in the UK, where they have a big bin of crystals in these little tiny velvet bags, and for a few dollars, a few pounds, you can fill up the bag with as many crystals as you can fit in there. I always thought I was really clever because I could really fit a lot of crystals in my little velvet bag. So I mostly put amethyst in there. Purple's always been my favorite color. And so amethyst is a beautiful purple gemstone that I would later learn connected to my Greek ancestry. The word amethyst derives from the Greek amethistos, which means not drunk. And so my ancestors worked with my favorite stone thousands of years ago before I discovered it to avoid intoxication and hangovers. And that's what really launched my fascination with stones. It says fast forward to September 2011, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I will tell you, that is the moment. 2011 is also when I founded Sage Goddess. I don't think the two events, me being diagnosed with MS, which I had probably had for a few years before that, and me founding Sage Goddess, I don't think are necessarily related. But what the diagnosis did, have any of you ever been diagnosed with a sort of an incurable degenerative illness? I hope not, but if you have, it sends you on a quest. You know, you go through the traditional sort of Western medical routes for health and healing. But then a lot of us also go, what else is there? Like, what are the other? And I went back. I had been working with crystals for a long time, but that was my big deep dive into what could crystals do to help support my health now. I've always believed in the magic of crystals. Since I was a little girl, I was fascinated by them, right? But now I had an opportunity to really put the healing properties of stones to work. And it's a true story. I went to my friend who's a crystal healer and owned a crystal shop at the time, still does. And I said, okay, hey, I'm facing this diagnosis. What do you recommend? And he recommended 4 stones, which I still work with to this day. My original 4 are right up here in my home. Blue-green kyanite, which balances and aligns the central nervous system, which is really important if you have autoimmune diseases. Sugilite, which is a master healer of the autoimmune system too. Eudialyte also falls into that category. And then Tibetan quartz, which comes from the Himalayan ridge and is one of the oldest forms of quartz on the planet. But what differentiates it is it has carbon in it, which is one of the building blocks of our human bodies. And I think it facilitates sort of cellular repair on a really deep level in the human systems. So I dug in. And so I did all the right sort of Western medical things to do in my situation. And then I went all the non-traditional routes, right? Exploring Reiki, and becoming more attuned to that practice, really starting to do deeper spiritual work, starting to work with plant medicine, starting to work with crystals on a more intentional level. And, you know, what's funny is my doctor always says, who knows what's working? Just keep doing this alchemy of different things, because some part of this alchemy has kept me in a really blessed state of wellness for all these years. And so what I want to tell you is what I love most about crystals, and you'll read more in the introduction, and it's the reason you have this book in your hands, is it can't hurt. And if you look on page 12, this is a very important section for you. It's called Crystal Secrets, and it's the science behind crystal healing. And what I'm going to tell you is, I'll read to you just a little bit. Crystals have been on this planet for 4.4 billion years. The first crystals on the planet were zircon and spinel, and they predate the dinosaurs. They predate really human form in the form Homo sapien that we know ourselves to be today. And so what I tell you in this section is, especially on page 13, so you're going to want to go here. This is very important. This entire page is extremely important. Crystals have a special frequency, each one, called the dominant oscillatory rate. They vibrate at a unique frequency. And your body, every one of your organs and systems, has a dominant oscillatory rate. What's important about crystals that you need to know, if there's only a few things that you take away from today, crystals have a stable DOR, a stable dominant oscillatory rate, because they have one structure. And that structure is consistent. It's a repeating pattern within it. It's a sacred geometric pattern. And so each crystal has like a job to do. Every one of your organs and systems has a different dominant oscillatory rate. Your digestive system and your central nervous system might be working on 2 different frequencies. So we are far less stable energetically and in terms of frequency than crystals. So crystals come in to stabilize your systems. And they do it without talking to you. You don't have to do a certain thing with it. It's not like raise your right hand and touch your nose and hold it with your left hand and stand on one foot. As long as a crystal is within your auric field, which is about the length of your arm outside of you, it's working on your dominant oscillatory rate to align, to balance, and to regulate. So when some people ask me, are we meant to work with crystals? I absolutely think we are. And the science behind why I believe that is on this page if you want to really geek out a little bit. And if you're just joining, by the way, thank you for joining. This is my, we are together because Hay House is our partner in the United Kingdom to bring you Crystalpedia, which is my 4th book, and the brand new encyclopedia of stones. I call it the one book you will need for crystals for the rest of your life. It's more than 180 beautiful stones that have all of the information about them, little chunks of wisdom, and beautiful photography, as well as lots of other insights from me personally about how to work with them, where they come from, and how they work in general from a scientific perspective. If you're in the UK, Waterstones is a place that a lot of you love to buy books. And so Waterstones has Crystalpedia. You can also get it through Amazon UK and wherever else you are in the world. Anywhere you love to shop for books, in person or online, has this book now. And I hope you love it. But today we're really celebrating our UK Hay House team and saying thank you again to our partners there who have been not only incredibly brilliant, but really good, fun friends in the process of bringing this book to you. So cheers to everyone on our Hay House team. Okay, so we'll keep going. Now on page 14, you've got crystal structures, numerology. You interested in that? So this isn't just a book about stones. It's a higher level book to bring you a deeper education. Before I started Sage Goddess, I was a university professor for 15 years, and I have a PhD in educational leadership. And so I really am a teacher at heart, and I have an expertise in curriculum design. So I really was trying to be thoughtful about, if I was new to crystals, what would I need to know for crystals to make sense? Like, let's say you give this to someone who has no idea what a crystal is. But also if you're an expert, because some of you are, what can I give you that will still give you something satisfying to work with, or give you some new information or a fast fact that you didn't know before? And so you'll find that information here as well. Then we get into crystal formation and shapes, palm stones, hearts, flames, spheres, generators. Oh my, eggs. And then sourcing and caring for your crystals, which is a really important conversation as well. Do you need to clear your crystals? How do you do that? And then ultimately, all of my suggestions are next in the book about how to work with your crystals. I do like to meditate with crystals. I like to do physical laying on of crystals on the body. I like to sleep with my crystals. I like to wear my crystals in jewelry. And so all of that is here. And then we go into stone number 1, which is actinolite, and then we take you through the whole alphabet, okay? At the end of the book, so let's just zoom on past, and I shouldn't zoom so fast. I should really take a moment to show you how every stone, there's a picture. So if you're new, and then every stone has, oh, I love shadowkite. Do you know about shadowkite? It's an ore of copper. And it's a master healer. And it's the darkest blue of the copper ores. Azurite and shadowkite are the darkest blue. They have this really intense color to them, and they're very powerful for healing. So what you're going to notice is, let me get my face out of the way. There we go. So it's going to give you kind of the basics up at the top. It's going to tell you where to put your crystals for physical healing. And then it tells you, if you're a beginner, what do you do with shadowkite? If you're an advanced practitioner, how can you work with shadowkite? And these are just, my thoughts for you about, like, yeah, if you've been working with crystals forever and you're kind of past the beginner stage, how would you, as a shaman, as a healer, as a medicine person, as a crystal healer, as somebody who's like, hey, I've been doing this for 40 years, what you got? Some new information to think about. And then there is a channeled message. So if the stone could speak to you, what would it say? And then there's a fast fact. And then up here, if you just want the quick and dirty, right? You just like, give me 3 words about Shattuckite so I can move on with my day. It gives you the 3 keywords: divine wisdom, healing, and spiritual connection. So that's what you can find for every stone. When you get to the conclusion, there's a couple things I want to point out. And then I'd like to do some, I'd like to talk about new moon stones, and then I'd like to do some live readings with you if you're down for it. So good to see you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you. It's a pleasure to talk about this book because I'm in love with it. Plus, I just think it's pretty. And in the UK, when you get your edition, I don't know if you're a tactile person like I am, but the stones are slightly raised on the cover, so it's a little bit of an ASMR experience. I don't know. There's something kind of cool about that. When I first got my copy of the UK edition, I was like, am I making this up in my mind, or are these really coming off the page? And they are. Okay. In the conclusion, don't bypass the conclusion. Again, as a reader, as a teacher, as a writer, I know sometimes you're like, conclusions, they can be boring. This one is not. This in the appendix gives you daily crystal or rituals for crystal healing. So how to create a crystal bath experience. That's fun. Incorporating gemstones to throw a dinner party. You know, think about the holidays and crystals that you might want to have to help survive your family in the next couple of weeks. We can talk about that too. The top 5 crystals for the perfect night's sleep. Having trouble sleeping? Oh, we all do. There's the crystals for you. Top 5 crystals for manifestation and success, according to yours truly. Those are mine. And then I kind of saved the best for last. So if you're familiar with something called the Synergy 12, which is a set of 12 stones that Robert Simmons and his incredible writing partner wrote about, gosh, how many years ago now? At least a decade ago, as the 12 most important crystals for ascension, and I think they are correct in the Book of Stones. But there are 11 that I think you need on top of that, and I have called them the Activation 11. So you're going to find out what are the next 11 stones. Once you have the Synergy 12 and you've brought all of those stones into your collection, what are the next 11 that you really need in order to build on the energy of those stones and to magnify the energy that's already in those? And they are there for you. Okay. Now, and that's it. There is a little tiny conclusion, and one of my friends messaged me the other day, and she said, I mean, like, conclusion. I just wrote a little paragraph. But you can't write a book and not have a conclusion. And what I said in the conclusion, before we get into the stones themselves, is I think we have to really be in a state of deep gratitude for these incredible gems and minerals. How many of you really feel like your life is better because they're here? I can't imagine my life without them. I mean, I look around every room in my house and they're here. Certainly Sage Goddess is a is a mecca, I would say, of for crystal lovers, of just like every crystal you can imagine, and truly honoring them in all of their beauty and their magic and their spiritual powers and properties. But I think life is better because we have them. I really do. And so at the end, I talk about, our great mother, Gaia, our planet itself, and how beautiful she is, and the fact that there are gems and minerals on every continent. And depending on where they grow, right? Like amethyst that comes from Brazil is lighter in color than amethyst that comes from Uruguay or that comes from Africa, for example. They're all beautiful, or Bolivia, right? And so some of them grow in stalactites and some of them grow in clusters, and the energy of those is very different. So I think it's important to stop and just go, life is better because crystals are here. And I do want you to think about, because it will arrive in time for the holidays. And I know I'm still shopping for holiday gifts. This would be a really lovely holiday gift for someone on your list. They don't have it. It was just published last week, so they can't say, oh, thanks for that book. I already had it. And it's a great chance to also share your love of crystals with people in your life who might be just beginning their journey too. What a great gift to give them and say, this is where you can start your education. And because it's well photographed, you will learn to identify the stones as you read about them. So one of my favorite books, called Love is in the Earth, which is still one of my favorite books, and it sits here right in my home. It will always be one of my treasures. But it doesn't have photography. And so sometimes, you're reading about a stone and you just want to have an image in your mind, because I'm a very visual person. So I think that's important too. So let's look at the table of contents together, shall we? And talk about which crystals you should be working with today for the new moon. I want to first direct your attention, first and foremost, to labradorite, which is on page 192. So we will turn together. And we chose juicy, juicy, juicy. Look at that labradorite. That's what every labradorite wants to look like when it grows up. Is it not? And it does. It displays all of this incredible color, but it's all in a matrix of this deep, dark, mysterious black, right? And so labradorite for me has always been a visioning stone. And what we do at the new moon is we set new intentions for new visions, new experiences, new transformations. And so I've always worked with labradorite first and foremost. Like if you were to ask me, what's the one stone I need for today out of my collection? If I could only carry one in my pocket, or if I could only bring one to ceremony tonight, I would say without question, it would be labradorite. And so the message of labradorite for you is, I am the stone of the dark moon, drawing down the powers of the night and mysteries of the universe into your soul. Call on me to support you as you undertake any new projects or intentions. Allow me to help you bring your creations to life, as together we harness all of the magic of the moon. Labradorite. It's true. And then our little fast fact for you, which again, some of you are interested in the little wisdom that we bring to you. It's a member of the feldspar family, by the way, which includes moonstone, amazonite, larvikite. There's quite a large number of stones under that feldspar family title or umbrella. The colors are not actually within the stone. They depend on how a light source refracts through the layers. And when you see, this is a true story, when you see a lot of pink and purple and the fuller range of colors, it means that it's refracting the light primarily through the topmost layers. When you see more green and blue, that means that the light source is refracting the light through the deeper layers of the stones, one of the key differences. Do you guys have a favorite new moon stone? Is labradorite your favorite? Because I will tell you, another one you might want to work with is larvikite on page 199. Larvikite is like labradorite's secret friend. And we love it because it is, let me show it to you. This is what larvikite looks like. See it right here? So it has all of that same light play, but it's all in the gray and black family. So it's more of a muted light play across the stone. And so larvikite is a member also of the feldspar family, named after Larvik, Norway, where it was discovered. A lot of stones are named after the city where they were discovered or the geologist who discovered them. You'll find that very commonly to be the case. In a few cases, you've got stones like Larimar, which was actually named after the daughter of the man who discovered it, which I always say is such a sweet story because he could have named it after himself, but he didn't. So like moonstone and labradorite, larvikite's a member of the feldspar family, has more of a gray sheen and flashes of silver light. And here's the message of larvikite for the new moon. The road that leads to your deepest intentions lies within your very own mind. Close your eyes and find the path that you have always known. Garnerite, yes, and you know garnerite has moonstone in it. We can look at garnerite. Garnerite actually has moonstone in it, so it is also a member of the feldspar family. As Tanya knows, some of you are quite experts when it comes to your crystals. Actually, we did not include garnerite. Did we put it under moonstone? No, I think we did not include garnerite. Volume 2, that'll have to go with sapphire. But garnerite is an interesting mineral. It comes from Madagascar, and it's this beautiful mint green color, and it has moonstone in it, so you're going to see that light play across the surface. What's interesting about garnerite is the color green. Does anybody know where it comes from? The green in your crystals comes from different sources of minerals that grow alongside. So you'll find chromium, for example, or chlorite will color some of your minerals, but garnerite is different. Anybody want to guess where the green in garnerite comes from? I'll give you a hint. It's a metal, and it generates kindness. It's actually for kindness and compassion. So I love to work with garnerite when I'm trying to manifest kindness and compassion in my life. If that's one of your intentions for tonight's new moon, again, we have a new moon in Sagittarius today. Jupiter is stationed direct, so we have lots of good luck energy in the field on this 12-12 portal. Garnerite would be a fantastic stone for you to choose and work with for that purpose. It's a really good guess, Tracy Prow. Not iron. You know what, Team SG? The first person who guesses it, let's send them a piece of garnerite. Wouldn't that be fun as a little gift? I love pop quiz time. Not copper, but those are very good guesses. Again, copper can lead to a blue-green color, but Tanya B got it. It's nickel. Congratulations. So we'll send you a little piece. I know you love it anyway, and you probably have it, but we'll send you one for winning my little pop quiz just now. Okay, so who would like a crystal reading for the new moon? And here's the intention I'm going to set, because if you choose to use this book as an oracle, which is my preferred way to work with it, yes, you can sit down and read it page by page by page by page. But with an encyclopedia, I think it's better to ask a question and pull up your crystal or stone of the day. Again, holding your book, closing your eyes, asking your question, and then turning to the page. Or saying your name out loud 3 times, which calls your energy into present time. Your name has a lot of magic and energy, and it's your vibration, right? So that's my preferred way to work with this book. But before I do live readings, which I hope to do for quite a few minutes now, my intention is that the stone that I choose for you will be related to the intention that you may want to set this evening at this new moon. That's my hope. So let's take this guidance. I'm going to ask Spirit to work through my hands and through this beautiful book to bring you a crystal that will guide your intention setting for this evening. Okay, so Stacy 712. Hi, Stacy. Let's go in. Stacy. And just flip through the pages until you feel like it's right to open. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Some of the pages in the book have 2 stones. So how do you choose? Well, you could say that they're both your crystals, silver sheen obsidian and snowflake obsidian. Or you can take your non-dominant hand, your non-writing hand, and hold it over each side. And when your hand gets warm, that's the crystal for you to work with for today. So Stacy, my hand is warm over silver sheen obsidian. Now, silver sheen obsidian comes from Mexico, and it has this beautiful, I can show it to you, this beautiful silver glow over the surface of it. See right there? It looks like the moon itself. And I actually do think of silver sheen as being a new moon stone. It's not the primary one we go to, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have that lunar energy to it, because I believe it does. So Stacy, this is for serenity, self-reflection, and intuition. So any intentions that you set tonight around those 3 themes are going to be really well supported by silver sheen obsidian. And its message for you is, let the moon shine a light on the deepest parts of your soul. The message is right down here. Watch your inner truth be illuminated, glowing for all to see. You are radiant, imbued with the brilliance of the stars. You're imbued with the brilliance of the stars. I love that. Okay. All right, Ann Seymour, good morning. And bright blessings to you too. All right, Ann, let's see what is coming up from Crystalpedia for your new moon intention. So for Ann, guys are saying it's in the middle of the book. It's right here. It's a wishing stone. Fulgurite is not a stone, but it's in here anyway, because we all love it at SG. Do you know what fulgurite is? When lightning strikes sand, it creates this tube. And when we do wishing ceremonies or intention ceremonies, you blow the energy of your wish or your intention through the little tube of fulgurite. So, and this is for you: alignment, transformation, and wish making. And here's the message of fulgurite for you. So, a lightning flash holds immense power. Isn't it true? Yet only lasts less than 0.2 of a second. That split second of time is captured within me, ready for you to harness. When you work with me, fulgurite, be prepared for the incredible transformation and manifestation of your deepest desires. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. It's very true. You know, at the new moon, we have to be so mindful, right? Especially on a new moon like today, which is happening in this 12/12 portal of energy, which is an overlay, right? New moons are always powerful. But when you have a new moon on such a sacred day that aligns with cycle completion, because we're always celebrating endings and new beginnings at the new moon anyway, really got to be mindful about what you're choosing to work with. Okay, Taylor. Hi, Taylor. Taylor Olivia. Let's see what's coming up for you for your new moon intention tonight. Taylor. Guides are saying it's at the beginning. Bloodstone. Are you working on health? It's a fantastic health and healing stone. Bloodstone is one of my top 3 stones for pain relief. The other are axonite and natrolite, but those 2 are more rare, hard to find, and expensive. So I love bloodstone because you can find it. This is Indian bloodstone. There's also a version of bloodstone that comes from South Africa. The difference: South African bloodstone has more quartz in the matrix, so some people feel like it's higher vibrational. There's still quartz in the matrix of Africa or Indian bloodstone. So I would say whatever form you find. But this is your stone for today, and I love that for you, Taylor. So healing, protection, pain management. By the way, this can be there's different kinds of pain, right? There can be physical pain, there can be emotional pain, and there can be spiritual pain, right? So here's your message from the stone. I am a stone of courage and grounding, helping you to be more comfortable and strong in your physical body. I bring you the strength to get through your day and the perseverance to stay true to your path. Work with me to invoke the endurance and power of the spiritual warrior. Like I said, because sometimes the pain that we carry is actually a density in our spiritual field. And you know, over time that manifests in the physical body, right? So we still have to unresolved spiritual challenges, emotional challenges at some point, if unreconciled and unintegrated, show up in the physical body. We know that to be true. And so when we kind of nip things at the level of the spiritual or the emotional, then we can prevent them from anchoring in the body in ways that don't serve us. So cheers, Taylor, to you. I hope that's helpful for you. Okay. Let's see, where are we going now? Desiree Gutierrez would love a crystal to set the intention for this new moon, please. Currently, my household is recovering from COVID. Well, sending lots of love and healing your way. Desiree, to you and your whole family. So Desiree, let's see what's choosing you. The guides say it's about 2/3 of the way through, so let's see. Jasper. Jasper is an incredible stone because there's so many different kinds and forms of jasper. So you got us to the page that is shared by Unakite and Sanskrit, which are 2 very different stones. So before I tell you about which one, I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to see where it gets warmer. And it's warmer over Unakite. There is an interesting story to tell you about Sanskrit, though, and I don't think it's unrelated for you. So Sanskrit jasper actually is one of the oldest stones on the planet. So I'm sure you know where the Himalayan mountains are, right? It's one of the oldest mountain ranges on the planet. Before the Himalayan mountains formed, think about that. There was something called the Tethys Sea. Tethys. And if you look at, I'm sort of a fan of maps of the earth during, way prehistoric times, right? How the earth formed when it was, how the earth looked when it was originally forming. The Tethys Sea, I actually import salt for ritual from the Tethys Sea. So there's still salt that you can harvest from that region. But the Tethys Sea actually formed these tiny microbes, and that's what's in Sanskrit jasper. So it's also known as Arabic stone, Miriam stone. There's a little bit of hematite in it, so it can be quite grounding. So I'm a huge fan of Sanskrit jasper, and they also call it Sanskrit jasper because if you look, see that red spheres right there? The markings kind of look like Sanskrit writing. So that's one of its names that you'll find it by. Now for you, Desiree, Unakite jasper. Unakite jasper is a physical healer. It heals the heart, but it can also heal the physical body. Partners beautifully with bloodstone, by the way. So for your family right now and kind of where you're at, that's what I would recommend as sort of a healing crystal prescription, is that you work with some bloodstone. Also, chlorite fast tracks the healing process. So you probably have some in your collection, so I would work with your chlorite quartz. Unakite jasper is for emotional resilience, heart healing, and self-love. And we all know that when we're sick, and our household is sick in particular, like, it's draining, right? It's hard to see your loved ones not feeling well. And so maybe that's part of what this stone is showing up for to help you with today. So the message for you from Unakite is, I'm a stone of self-love, reminding you to treat yourself with extra loving care. I bring a renewal of patience, perseverance, and healing to your heart space. Which is beautiful. Okay, let's see. Good morning, everyone. Good evening if you're in the UK. Again, thank you for coming and joining us for our live United Kingdom launch of Crystalpedia. If you joined after I said thank you to our UK team at Hay House, United Kingdom, which is how we have been able to come to you in the UK. I just want to say what an incredible pleasure and honor it's been to work with the entire team. And so thank you again to Joe, to Catherine, to Portia, and to Mike, and everyone at Hay House UK for bringing this forward. I am hoping to come and see you this year. I have dear friends in the UK, and so I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to hop the pond and come and see you and hug you and sign your books. But for now, you can find Crystalpedia wherever you love to find books online. We're not done yet, but I just want to point that out. I'm proud to be have my book at Waterstone, so if that's where you love to go for books, Amazon UK is also a possibility for you. And then if there's any other places you love to shop in the UK, you're going to find Crystalpedia wherever you go. It will find you. And if you find it in your local book shop, it's super sweet if you can post a picture on Instagram and tag the Sage Goddess. We love to see where you're finding your books. It's a real treat for us because the process of bringing this to you has taken about 2 years from concept to in your hands. And so it's really fulfilling for us to see it in your hands too. Let's see. So Amanda Tipton, may I have a reading? She said, I'm stranded, stuck, and not feeling very motivated to get unstuck, but I also know I need to move. You know, that, I call that the chrysalis phase. Have any of you ever felt like that before? Because I can tell you I have. For sure. You know what I mean? And part of what I love about our community is that we can say that to each other. Like, I think I'm stuck and I kind of am not motivated to move anything. But you have to remember the laws of physics, right? Which we call the Hermetic principles and energy work. So everything vibrates, everything's in motion, right? I'm vibrating, you're vibrating. I mean that in a quite literal sense on the subatomic level, right? The crystals are vibrating. So you're never really stuck. It's our human sort of consciousness that makes us feel sometimes like we're moving through molasses and we're not making progress. So this new moon, because Sagittarius will kick your absolute behind. Any Sagittarius in my feed right now? I'm a Sag moon. I call us the agitators. We don't mean to. Sometimes we do, but we like to get things and people moving. And so we will come right behind you and sort of kick you in the behind to get you moving. This Sag new moon, let's see what the crystals have to say for you, Amanda, but like let's see if there's a stone for you to set an intention for this new moon to get some energy moving for Amanda. You're not stuck, you're just human. Well, this is an interesting, this is really interesting because, again, there are pieces in here, I should say, that are not stones, like halite. There's also metals and metalloids and kind of some fun amalgam materials too. So we kind of gave you a diversity. Did you know that that's salt? It is. And I have a friend who has a huge chunk of this in her bedroom. And she said people always, when they see it, go, that is the prettiest pink stone I've ever seen. And she's like, lick it. And they're like, what? What do you mean, lick it? They don't know me very well. It's an occupational hazard. But they, kind of do that. And they go, oh, it's salt. So it really is salt. We work with salt actually in metaphysical and energy work for purification and to move energy. It's for self-care, purification, and protection. So it may be that the reason you feel stuck, what I would say based on this, Amanda, the reason you feel stuck is because you need to clear something out. There is no better time in the entire lunar cycle than the new moon to cleanse, clear, and purify. I mean, literally, it is the occasion for that. If you're awake at 5 p.m. tonight, everybody, depending on your time zone, Pacific time, that's 8 Eastern time, and that is, I believe, 1 a.m. Europe, UK time. Come join me on YouTube. I'll be live. And we always do that together. We always cleanse, clear, purify, and then set an intention for moving in a new direction. And like I said, tonight's going to be very special, not just because it's a Sag new moon, but because it's 12/12. If you can make a wish today at 12/12 your time on 12/12. So here's your message, Amanda. Work with me to clear your energetic field and surroundings as I transmute any impurities that cross my path. I will guide you in releasing the physical and emotional habits that do not support your wellness. Wouldn't that be nice? But it really is salt, and it's okay to lick it. You have my permission. Allie said she's a Sag and she's depressed more than normal now. Well, Jupiter's been retrograde, and honestly, I know this isn't a program on astrology, but I will say the astrology of 2023, and you can comment or raise your hand if that's you, has been incredibly taxing for everyone. There's been so much retrograde activity, and almost all of the major planets, including the outer planets, will be direct. The only one that's going to be retrograde as we enter the new year is Mercury, but it's okay. We can deal with Mercury. It's when all of the big planets are retrograde that it feels like the whole universe is sort of like, putting pressure on your shoulders. It's like walking with cement bricks in your hands and on your shoulders and attached to your feet. So this whole year has kind of felt like that. And what I've been telling my students is now we've got a little bit of a slingshot effect. I mean, I think we're going to feel this momentum as those outer planets have gone stationary direct through December, and will continue to over the coming weeks. But it's been challenging, you know what I mean? So if you feel like, wow, has it been challenging for anybody else? Because everybody seems okay and I'm the one who feels stuck. I just want you to know, I talk to a lot of people around the world, and I really don't know anybody who's been like, yeah, 2023, banner year, best year of my life. I have yet to really encounter that person. If it has been for you, I'm happy for you, but yeah, for the rest of us, it's been quite challenging. Let's see, where am I going now? Let's see. For challenges dealing with abuse and isolation, I mean, if you're dealing with abuse, beyond crystals, you need to get lots of help and support, right? I'm a very tolerant person, but I have lines that cannot be crossed. That's a red line for me. So if you're dealing with abuse, it's very important to get support on every level for yourself to find your way through and out of that situation. Isolation, though, you're going to want to work with your heart openers, and that's going to be your pink tourmaline. It's my favorite heart opener. I also love rhodochrosite for opening the heart. Chrysoprase is a fantastic stone for dealing with feelings of isolation too. Okay, let's see. Okay, Blue Moon Sage says Andrea Lee needs a reading. So are you speaking as Andrea Lee, or is that someone else you, I just need permission to do readings. Let's see. Okay, is it Felita or Feleta? What a beautiful name, Delaney. Namaste. It's good to see you. Cheers. Well, thank you for being here today. Let me know if you would like a reading, and I will come back to you and do a reading for you right away. Lori Gerard. Hi, Lori. Good morning. Lori says, I've been going through some shit. It's been on the menu this year, but it's going to change. The early part of 2024 has a totally different vibrational energy to it, and that's sort of unanimous among astrologers. So cheers, darling, to change. So Lori Gerard, Lori. Guys are saying toward the back of the book. What's your new moon stone? Again, pull to a page with two. So if you're working with Crystalpedia as an oracle and you get to a page with two stones, then what you want to do is either work with both or put your hand over each page, your non-writing hand, and wherever it gets warm is going to be, I had a feeling it was rhodonite. The light and shadow of love stone. This is compassion, generosity, and also shadow work. So looking at the subconscious factors and forces that are sort of driving your relationship decisions and outcomes. So here's the message for you, Lori. Love the world, and it will love you in return. I think you do. My intuition for you, just as a channel, is you need to, there's just been a band of energy that's been a little bit challenging, almost untenable in some ways. And so it's about moving through this period with grace. And I know it's not easy. People make it seem like it's easy, but it's not. If it was easy, we'd all do it, and we wouldn't need to have spiritual connections with other humans. If we could just all do it by ourselves and we were perfectly finished packages, right? So that's important to remember too. Stones for vertigo and arthritis. Bloodstone axonite natrolite for your arthritis. If your arthritis is autoimmune, sugilite. So if you have like rheumatoid arthritis. And then what I love for vertigo is kyanite, blue kyanite. So standby for balance. Just one of my favorites. Let's see where I'm going now. Oh, you're so welcome. And okay, I think I said Feleta. So let me do a reading for you. Feleta. Cheers, and happy that you're here today. What is your new moon stone? Guys are like, this is really important for her. Ooh, and it's one of my favorites. I get so excited when I get to some of, like, I call them the big tickets, right? Like moldavite is, again, not a stone. It's a tektite. What's a tektite? A tektite forms when a meteorite hits the planet and basically melts the land around it and then ejects back into the atmosphere, hardens and cools, returns to the planet, and in the form that you see. So, and there's a family of tektites. Moldavite's one of them. It's named after the Moldau Valley in Czechoslovakia, where it was found 21 million years ago. Okay, so what's moldavite all about? Ascension, spiritual evolution, transformation. The largest piece of intact moldavite ever found weighs 238 grams, and it's in a Russian museum. So here's what I want to tell you. Are you ready to completely transform your life? It's a great question for you. I think this is why the guides were saying it was so important. Think beyond the mundane and open yourself to otherworldly wisdom and allow spiritual transformation. Allow moldavite to invoke your highest destiny and create the radical changes needed in your life. Radical changes needed in your life to ascend the path of cosmic evolution. It's a big one. I call it a big gun or a big ticket because it really, some people have a hard time working with it. I personally love it. It has a very strong, intense vibration. Sometimes you can feel it kind of buzzing in your hand, but if you don't have a piece, that's a good call to action for you to go and source a piece for yourself. We do really beautiful moldavite jewelry at Sage Goddess. I don't know if we have any in stock right now because through the holidays, that was one of people's favorite gifts to give. So can I do a collective read for all of us? You, me, anyone who's watching from Hay House UK and from Team SG. Let's do a collective read now for a stone that all of us should work with today at this new moon, 12/12. And again, I love catching you early. It's 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. We're right around the lunchtime hour on the East Coast. Then I'm catching you before bedtime UK time. So we can still all work with this portal, this 12/12 portal of energy. So this is for everyone who's here now, a collective stone to guide all of our new moon intentions. It's not a stone, but I'm really happy to see it. Are you ready? It's going to surprise you. It's my favorite metal. And in my second book called Crystal Lore Legends and Myths, I read about gold because it's my theory about why the civilizations in other parts of our multiverse chose Earth. You can read that later. Gold, right, is a really important metal. And you know why it's so lucky to have gold come up for us today on a new moon? Abundance, 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 abundance. Beauty, empowerment, good fortune, good luck. It, for me, is so aligned to Jupiter's energy. Jupiter's the planet that governs Sagittarius, right? We're in a Sagittarius new moon right now. Jupiter's direct. I love that gold came up for us today. So if you are setting intentions at this new moon for prosperity, abundance, wealth, good luck, good fortune, blessings on your business, blessings on your any form of prosperity, especially material, physical prosperity, this is a great omen for you. And did you know that all gold on Earth originated from the debris of dead stars? Which means the supply of gold on this planet is finite. Earth is not producing any more of it. Did you know that? That's why gold is so expensive. So here is gold's magical message for you. You are made of stardust, and you are full of glittering potential, much like myself. That's God. That's gold speaking. God speaking. There are no limits to the heights you can reach once you allow your potential to be unearthed. Let your inner glow radiate for all the world to see. That made my day. I mean, citrine would have been nice. I would have been satisfied with citrine. A little peridot would have been juicy for us this morning, this afternoon, this evening. But listen, honey, I'm not going to complain about the gold. I'll take it all day, every day. So cheers, and thank you so much for coming. I don't know how you feel, but that hour for me went by really fast. Thanks for coming into my home this morning. And thank you again to Team Hay House UK. Thank you again to Team SG and to all of you, to our beautiful community for being here. Thank you for being with us for 12 years. We've been around and kicking for 12 years at Sage Goddess. And this is my fourth book. I think it is an absolute feast for the eyes, but also for the brain. And I hope that you will choose it either as a holiday gift for yourself or someone on your wish list. Like I said, you can find it wherever you love to buy books. And then at sagegoddess.com, we have little stickers, not little stickers. They're like 5x7 that I'm signing. So Team SG, if you will make sure that those are in stock, I'll be coming in to sign more today. I know they did run out of stock this weekend, but if you can make sure those are available for our community at sagegoddess.com. And that way, if you get the book wherever you are, you'll have a chance to have it signed by me. I'll send that to you in the mail for just a couple dollars, just to cover our cost of producing the stickers and signing them and packaging them and mailing them off to you. So if you'd like a signed copy, that's the best way to do it. And again, thank you for being here today. We are so grateful to have you in our community. Couple things to tell you. So sagegoddess.com is where you'll find me. I teach online classes too. Would love to have you join us. So you can always go to sagegoddess.com and click on the classes tab to learn more. We have an Instagram at the Sage Goddess. We have a YouTube's. We are at the Sage Goddess on YouTube. That's where you're going to find our live event tonight. So if you're new to SG, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Instagram. We're on TikTok too with you. And then facebook.com/sagegoddess is kind of where everybody gathers. And you'll find updates and reminders about our events, classes that I'm teaching. I have a brand new program for 2024 called Apothecary, which is going to lead us into the world of plants. But we're also integrating crystal wisdom and almost everything under the sun in the apothecary program. So we'd love to have you, and registration is open for that. I don't think I forgot anything except just to say thank you one more time. Happy holidays to you. And so if you celebrate Hanukkah, wishing you blessings as we come to the end of that beautiful holiday, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy Yule. Kwanzaa blessings as well. And even if you don't celebrate any of the holidays, there's just something in the air this time of year that urges you to peace and rest. And my wish for you is that your soul finds that peace and rest, and that your intentions you set tonight will come to pass in perfect time. All right, cheers, you guys. And I will see you at 5 p.m. tonight on YouTube, youtube.com/